Welcome to Live Well with Banter, a new podcast produced by Hayward and Stuff Productions for Live Well with Cancer. I'm Ben Elliott, or to let regulars at the Live Well Hub, Maureen's son. I'm here today with the founder and CEO of the charity, and we're going to be talking about the charity, about Live Well with Cancer, and have plenty of banter along the way. Hello, Maureen.
Hello, Ben.
How are you doing? Are you okay?
I'm good. This is a bit strange being interviewed by my son.
It is a strange one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
We've just had the drive here. We've had this conversation on the way. But yes, we'll try and make it fresh for the show. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to start off with, and we're going to talk about something that's very close to my heart and has been a big part of the charity, and that's Live Well with Healthy Habits, which is our campaign about living well and how you can kind of improve your health and well-being. So I've sent you some questions before.
Yes.
You've had some chance to prepare. We're going to go through them now, okay? So the first habit is setting intentions, and I'd like to know what's one intention you have for the future.
Well, I think you're going to love this one.
Excellent.
I am going to start another Wellbeing 9 a day on the 1st of September. I'm going to have a few weeks off. I've deliberately set that because I feel like when I do that book, I actually am held accountable. So I will drink my 2 litres of water and I will eat my 5 bits of fruit a day. So that's what I'm going to do. So that's one intention.
Really, really nice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I would do?
What?
I would start on the 31st of August on your day 0.
Okay.
And then you'll have 30 days for September.
Perfect. Well, that's what I will do.
Well, really nice. That's good. We're looking forward to that. Okay, well, next up, the next habit is be present. So how do you like to connect with the moment most?
Well, I haven't been able to do it for the last 5 weeks. Believe it or not, I love driving. So that is my bit in the morning when I get in the car and I put lovely tunes on and I just listen to that and get myself to work. And that's the bit where I feel like I'm really present. But I haven't said that. I haven't been able to do that.
Yes, chaperone duties have been spread out amongst
Yes,
the
so
family,
you've
haven't
been
it?
doing all the driving.
We'll
yeah.
have to get the tunes on. Normally we talk, don't we, in the way in. We'll get some songs and we'll sing.
Yeah,
And then you can
but
have
I do that. I love that bit. I love that
All right,
bit.
yeah. Okay, nice. That's how you be present. What's one bad habit you should let go?
I think I'm getting better, but definitely alcohol. I think I don't know whether it's a northern thing, I don't know what it is, but it's that, like, I deserve a drink at the weekend, so I'm going to share a bottle of wine, but then that can quite often become, I'm going to have a glass of wine on a Monday night and a Tuesday night. So I have shifted all my habits, and it tends to be more at a weekend, but actually I want to let go of that as well. So
Are you talking about a full let go, or are you just talking about...
like when I go out and just when I'm with other people, on a social occasion, then I'll have a drink.
Yeah.
But actually not have one in the house.
Oh, really
Yeah.
nice.
So that is, I mean, it's massive, but yeah, I shall try.
So it's going to be a dry September.
Yes.
Really, really nice. Well, that sounds good. Excellent. Good habits. Next up, what are you currently learning about?
I'm always learning. So seriously, being a CEO of a charity, so I can do the nursery bit, I can do the cancer bit, but it's all the other bits alongside that. So I'm constantly learning how to be a businesswoman, learning about the charity commission. So yeah.
Always learning.
Always learning.
There is no end of it.
There is
when
no
it comes to
end,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And actually, if you think about it, you're the only full-time employee of the charity. You
Yes,
wear
I've
so
got
many hats.
I've got lots of hats. Yeah.
You know your nurse and stuff, but there's all the other things.
Yeah.
Really good habit. How do you like to move when you can move, when your shoulders are working?
I love a bit of dancing.
Right.
And I don't do it enough.
When was the last time you danced?
Probably at Christmas, where we all have a little dance in the kitchen.
No, I know that's not true.
Oh, is that not true? Oh no, at the that is a lie. At the fashion show that we've just held,
Yeah.
was the last time I danced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. It's good, isn't it? That's too long though.
Yeah.
If that's something you love doing, that's a long time in between.
Yeah, I know. It's just life, isn't it?
It is, aye. And yeah, your moves are limited. So she's currently got 2 injuries. She's got a shoulder, which is obviously strapped up there, but she's also got an injury on the other shoulder. So yeah, she's not doing...
This is getting better.
Maybe he's doing a bit of a disabled robot or something along those lines. Lovely. So you enjoy dancing. What else do you enjoy? If there's one thing you could do now, what would it be?
Getting the family together. You know what I'm like. I'm all about
Right.
family. Family meals, everyone round the table. Love it.
Just connecting.
Just connecting with and that includes all the extended family, everyone.
Yeah. You like games as well, don't you? Like a family game night
Oh
sort
yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice. Well, that segues in quite nicely. What is your favourite way of connecting with other people?
It's food.
Yeah. Aye.
It really is. I think it's a lovely thing to do. Like share food with people.
Conversation.
It's like when you go away. Like I've done quite a lot of lone travelling. That's a thing that gets you connected with other people
Yeah.
when you're out and about.
Lovely. Next habit, self-care. What self-care do you need?
I'm rubbish at self-care. Well, but actually, if you can look at my hair at this precise moment, because of this injury, I haven't had my hair cut
Yeah.
and I haven't had it dyed, so I am desperate for that to be done. But after we scan tomorrow, I will be able to find out what my next steps are, and I'll have to put a plan in place.
Yeah. And then the last one, nutrition. I'd like you to tell me what are your, if all fruits and vegetables were to be gone apart from 5, what would your 5 a day be?
Raspberries, mango, strawberries, vegetables, did you say as well?
Fruit and veg, yeah.
Pea pods and bananas.
Yeah, good selection. Fruit heavy. And,
Yeah.
you love peas.
Well, I
don't
love
you?
pea pods,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. All right, well, nice. Well, that's a good basis for your well-being in a day, coming September. That's good. Next up, an even more important question. So one thing we're going to do throughout this series is we're going to ask guests what their all-time Premier League Newcastle United football team would be. So she's got 11 spots. She's got 3 substitutes and she's got a manager to pick from. So would you like to give me your starting 11 now? Starting with your goalkeeper.
Start with my goalkeeper.
I'm going to already tell you that you've got Shearer, because I'm assuming everyone does. So you've got Shearer there.
I might not.
You might not, but
I might not.
yeah.
I might surprise you. Goalkeeper, Shea Given.
Fantastic.
Yeah, because massive Toon fan. We followed him home and away. Hero.
Easy on the eyes for you as
Easy
well,
on the
wasn't
eye. And me and Holly saw his bum at St James's Park. So that was always a plus.
he? He was always going to be in. And then let's go for your defenders.
So I'm going to go current. I'm going to go Trippier
Yeah.
and Shaw.
Yeah.
And then maybe a bit of a surprise, I'm going to go Jonathan Woodgate. Because I truly believe if that man had been fit, he would have been like an all-time hero. I thought he was outstanding. And then again, maybe it's a little bit of a surprise. I'm going to go for Olivier Bernard.
Why Olivier Bernard?
I just loved him. I just loved him on the pitch.
He was great, wasn't he? He was never a left back. He was like a winger.
Yeah.
But then he
But
started playing left back.
Great. Left back, I loved him.
Yeah, he was funny. Was he the one who got hit in the face with a ball full pelt and he collapsed?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that one. What formation are you going?
I'm going 4-4-2.
Classic. Keegan era.
Keegan all the way.
Let's talk about your midfield.
So I'm going to go for 2 quite strong midfielders. Yeah. I'm going to go Bruno in the middle, and he's going to be partnered by David Batty.
Wow.
And then I'm going to have 2 wingers. I'm going to have David Ginola, and I am going to have Nobby Solano. You couldn't not have him.
Exactly, yeah. He was great, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then obviously Shearer, striker. But then this one might be controversial as well, but I'm going to go for Tino.
Right.
Only because he's probably given me the best footballing night of my life. When we beat Barcelona 3-2 with his hat-trick, and it was incredible.
It was unbelievable.
And just seeing his shirt on, all of that. So I've picked him.
I'll never forgive you for not taking me to that one.
No, I think it was Holly.
I was watching that in my grandma's.
Yeah, it was Holly's turn, wasn't it? Yeah. And then for sub,
who's your captain?
my captain Shearer,
Naturally.
obviously. Yeah. Sub-wise, I'm going to go for Sir Les.
Yeah.
Because he could have been the other striker, but I'll go for Les. Gary Speed and Lauren Ribet. So I am kind of back in the day. And Bobby Robson for manager.
He was brilliant, Bobby, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
A true gent. A
Yeah.
Geordie gent. Yeah. Very good team.
Yeah.
Very good team. We'll see how it compares to the others at the end of the podcast. And now I'm going to just do a few quick fire questions and then we'll get to the real conversation about liver cancer. So, what's your favourite movie?
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs, great film. What do you like about that?
I don't know, but I've seen it about 40 times. Yeah, I just love Anthony Hopkins.
He's brilliant.
Just a brilliant movie.
Yeah. Who's your favourite musical artist?
I've got lots, but if I had to pin it down, it would have to be more Towny era, and I would go Stevie Wonder.
Brilliant. What's your favourite song?
Again, I'm going to change. It would be Young Hearts Run Free, Candy Staton.
You've always loved that song.
I've always loved that song.
Yeah. I always think of you when I hear that song. Favourite book?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And again, that could have been a favourite movie.
Yeah.
Great book.
And then favourite game show?
I should say Pointless, because you won Pointless. And I do love it. However, I'm going to choose the 1% Club. Only because my grandson's absolutely amazing at it and we'll want him to go on.
Right.
Because he keeps getting the 1%.
I like that. You've got both answers in quite nicely.
Yeah.
Although I am getting replaced nowadays. Riley is higher up in the estimation. Now there's a new generation, but never mind. A fun fact about yourself.
I'm a distant relative to Catherine Cookson.
Ah. And we recently received funding from the Catherine Cookson Charitable Trust.
Yeah, so my
So
granddad and
finally paid off.
my granddad and they were cousins.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's great that I've never read any. I need to read some
you do.
really
You
as a
definitely
relative.
do.
I know actually speaks highly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then a couple of either ors. Ant or Deck?
And oh no, Deck. I got them the wrong way round. Yeah,
Right.
no Deck.
And then are you a Toon or a Black and White Army?
I'm a Toon.
Black and White Army! Really nice. Okay, well, that was the banter section of the podcast, all signed off. Now we're going to talk about liver with cancer. So, can you tell me what your life was like before liver with cancer? It'd be nice to just kind of know the background before this all started.
So yeah, I've been a nurse for 30 odd years in cancer care, and my life was lovely, just chugging along beautifully. I had 4 kids, 3 grandkids, and then I suppose my life was turned upside down, and this is going to be very close to your heart as well. After being married for 34 years, one day I wasn't. It was all so sudden, completely blindsided by it. And probably one of the worst times of my life, and that happened 18 months before I got the registration for the charity. But I think that was probably one of the big drivers for me starting the charity up as well. I think it's them moments in your life where you either sink or swim.
Yeah.
And I certainly wasn't going to sink. But it wasn't just the divorce after that. It was a lot of grief and a lot of loss there. There was having to sell the family home. We had a lovely little cottage that we'd saved up a lot of money for to buy. We had to sell that. My niece had just relapsed again. She had cancer. There was just so much horrible things going on there. And then I think I took myself off for 3 weeks, which I know none of you really wanted me to do. But I just needed that space and that time to think, like, what am I going to do with my life? And then it was another massive blow. The job that I loved, the best job I've ever done in nursing, was going to end. And yeah, it was a real moment where, like, well, what am I going to do? So that was when I thought I had the idea of starting the charity.
What was it you loved most about that job?
It was being in the community, I think, and just really seeing people in their own environment. So part of that job is that you went out and you did one-to-one visits in their own home. And a classic example of this was, if he'd been in my clinic in a hospital, never in a million years picked up on it. But he was a bloke and he's probably in his 30s. I'd been asked by one of the GPs to go out and see him. And when I knocked on the door, straight away I knew that this is going to be quite challenging. So he was obviously a hoarder. And I was literally walking along the corridor, like looking for a space. He had to clear a space on a sofa, stuff piled high. But amongst all of this, when I was doing an assessment, I could see a couple of like crucifixes on his wall. So then I asked him about like his connection to religion, and he did have a real connection.
Yeah.
Once upon a time. And then he kind of fallen out with the church. So we had this big long conversation. Anyway, to end a very long story, I got him connected with the church again.
Right.
And we could get him some community support alongside me helping him with his cancer diagnosis.
Right.
But it was about getting him that community. That's what he needed.
Well, and that from my experience, and when we've talked about things in the past, the cancer sometimes isn't even the biggest issue,
No,
is it? It's a lot of the time it's the
yeah.
things around that,
Yeah.
and obviously being in the community kind of helps you do that there.
Mm-hmm.
So that was beforehand. So you had personal and you had professional kind of situations going on, big losses.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get involved with the charity? How did that start?
So I think when I knew that the service that I was working for was going and all of us were going to get redeployed in the trust, I don't know whether like a typical working class Geordie lass, I was absolutely livid.
You're far from typical.
No, I think I am. I was just livid, and I just thought, how can they let this service go?
Yeah.
I've been, like I said, been doing nursing for 30 odd years, and seeing something that really, really worked. You were supporting people in a one-to-one in the community. You were also doing health and wellbeing events. You were doing educational stuff. It really worked. I mean, there was a huge outcry when it all went. So yeah, I just thought, well, if the trust aren't going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. And actually some of the people you were dealing with joined you, didn't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
The charity?
So that was, I think it was when I had the flattened time out, I'd invited 2 of the girls that I'd been supporting. So one of them was only 25 and she got a diagnosis, and the other one was a little bit older. and they were passionate about making changes and helping people and supporting people. So you'll tend to find that people really struggle at the beginning when they're initially told about a diagnosis. And sometimes you can wait for weeks and weeks and weeks before you start your treatment.
Yeah.
So we were there filling that gap. And it's also at the end of treatment where everyone thinks, oh, well, they've finished the treatment, they're back to normal. And that's just not the case. I hate the whole ringing the bell thing. I think it gives out a terrible message. I think it's suggesting to people that it is all over when actually we know it's not.
Yeah.
Like physically, they've got to get back to a better health. Mentally, they're all over the place. They're frightened of it coming back. You know, dynamics change in families, all sorts of things. So for some, it's like the starting point. So I think the middle bit in that when they're in the hospital is great. They've got a lot of support, but it's these two ends of it, I think, which are unmet.
Yeah. And you've got a lot of experience, obviously, just a little bit of a backpedal in terms of the background to that. So before that job, you've been working in cancer in everywhere, haven't you, really?
Well, I think I am quite unique in that I've done every part of the pathway. So from sitting in like an outpatient clinic to someone getting that bad news, to sitting at the end bit where someone's taking the last breath, like working a hospice. So it's all aspects of it.
Yeah. And all of that came together, and you've used that for liver cancer.
Yeah, like picked out all the bits.
One of my favourite parts of the charity is the name, because what I think it does is it just tells the message straight away. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
And obviously you've been a big champion of that as well. So what's your role been like in the charity?
Well, you alluded to it before. I've got so obviously I'm the founder and the CEO, but for the first 4 years, I was actually working. I'd set the charity up. I was working and doing the charity side of it on a volunteer basis. So that was for 4 years. So I was working through the day and doing all the charity stuff on nights and weekends. So it was really incredibly tiring. So it's just the last 2 years really where I've been properly fully involved. Now I'm starting to get some kind of payment for it, and that's in a CEO role. But I think it's an unusual CEO role because I do the cleaning. I look after the volunteers. I facilitate. I do nursing aspects. So I do quite a lot of stuff.
What was it like before? Because obviously them first 4 years, it's changed since we've moved into the Live Well hub, hasn't it? So what was that them first sort of 4 years like?
I think the biggest, well, I suppose it was the worst and the best thing that could happen to us. So we set up in the November 2019 and had the whole year planned. Can you remember? We had like every workshop planned, all the crafting and craft and crack. We had CBD talks, all sorts. And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And I think it really made us look at what we wanted to do, because I think I wanted to be all things to all people. Well, actually, then we really honed in on the well-being side of it. So I think it was a good time to shake things up. But we were one of the few charities that kept on going, to be fair. So we did a lot during that time. We were supporting people via email, phone call, all sorts of things, or meeting people when we could outside.
And we put a lot online.
We did loads online.
Yeah.
I mean, some things just did not work.
Yoga online.
Quite
the one, is it?
Not work. Yeah, not when you've got a very bendy person and 20 people looking on. Yeah, that didn't work. But the craft and crack did, and all those, and the book club that you ran really did well.
Yeah, well, creative writing. We had quite a few on at that point
yeah.
as well. I remember attending one. I can't remember what it was. I think it was mindfulness. But I fell asleep. I must have fallen asleep about 15 minutes in.
Yeah.
And then I woke up about an hour later. The session was long gone. I was the only person left on the scene. And then the facilitator was like, Ben, which was
I think that happened quite often. There was a relaxation and a sleep one.
Yeah.
And quite often the facilitators just had to turn the cameras off.
yeah. I had a great nap. We've missed one thing that I think is nice. Obviously, so we talk about the charity there. It's all been we started with nothing. So where does the money come from in the charity? You know what I'm getting at.
Yeah, the very first donation that we got. Yeah. So again, it was a family member, and it was my great niece Annalise, who I think she'd done a little bit of fundraising or something at the university and handed us this jar with 40 odd quid in. And it helped us buy the leaflets.
Yeah.
It was that type of thing. And that's how small we were at the bit, really, really grassroots. And then it just grew after that.
Yeah. It's been a long journey, hasn't it?
It has been a massive journey. And I think, especially the last 2 years, since we've got our own place, I think Greg's one of the funders who'd come in. It just said we'd gone from being like this to that, and how are you going to sustain it?
Well, and it's interesting that as well, because that was I can't remember when Greg was on, 18 months or something like that ago. To now we're going even more uphill. So you know, it's been a long road, but we're growing now. It's a nice place to be. Well, how did we get in the Live Well Hub? It wasn't the Live Well Hub back then, of course. How did that come about in terms of finding the premises? Because we spent a lot of time doing workshops in different places, Linskill Centre, Sands of Tyne, different places around North Tyneside. But then obviously we wanted a home, didn't we?
So it was another charity. So it was Operation Veteran, who are fantastic, and they actually did a bit of a fundraiser for us. So I think they'd done this dance night. It was a particular type of dance. What do they do in Latin America?
Tango.
They did this tango thing, and they raised £1,000 for us. So I had to go and collect the cheque. And the minute I walked in, it was like my dream. It's like what I had been manifesting, what my vision was. So they had a garden, a little cafe downstairs, a massive space where you could do exercise, a huge space where you could do crafting. Then there was a kitchen area. And then there was these rooms out the back. At the time, I think 2 of them were condemned. There was a hole in the ceiling and all sorts. But I knew that you could change them into counselling rooms. Anyway, I said to Jim, I'm going to push you down these stairs. And he went, well, that's not very nice. And I just said, oh, no, I'm only joking, but I would love this. And then lo and behold, it was about 18 months later, he contacted us to say, Maureen, we're going to be moving out these premises. Would you like to pitch to the landlord? And just tell them why you want it, and that's what I did.
And obviously the inside appeals, because having that massive space upstairs and the downstairs sort of cafe area was good. But why no shields?
No shields, I think, is such an amazing area where I don't want to say real people. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? But where you've got,
not saying other people aren't real.
No, you've got this mix of all different people who are there, and it was somewhere that I definitely had earmarked that I wanted to go to and be able to help and support. What we wanted to get was those people who wouldn't ordinarily go and seek some support.
Yeah.
And that's what we've managed to get with the hub. When we had the cafe, you would get people coming in and just out of a bit of interest, what's this all about? And then you'd get them upstairs, and then before you know it, they were joining a workshop. That would never have happened from like a referral point of view.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I mean the minute we moved into North Shields, it was just, we were getting envelopes off people like, thank you for moving here, like here's 20 quid to get you started, and it was just incredible. And then the bank around the corner did some fundraising for us, and then it's just been non-stop ever since. Just incredible.
And how's life been like in the Live Well Hub since then? Obviously there's been a little bit of it's almost been split in two, hasn't there? We had North Bank Cafe downstairs for a period.
Yeah.
Now it's become Live Well Hub.
I think it was so we did have the cafe downstairs, and that was my dream. But I think if you've got like a business head on, it was not the right thing. There are so many cafes in there, and what we didn't want to do is charge astronomical amount of money for a cup of coffee and like a cake or whatever. So we were charging really low prices. So we did get numbers in, but we weren't making money. So yeah, I think from a business point of view that had to go. It needed to be the other way around. The charity was actually supporting the cafe.
Yeah. And the flip of that, of course, is that now we've got the accessible loo downstairs. So actually it's levelled up the whole building without necessarily losing anything, because we still have that space down there.
So that was one of the things that we didn't have. We didn't have a downstairs toilet, so it excluded a lot of people. So now we've done a little bit of work just in the last few months where we've got that beautiful kitchen area now. It's like it is a kitchen, it's not a proper kitchen.
I call it a kitchenette.
Do you call it a kitchenette, right?
Yeah.
And then the loo, and then the garden. So it means that even if you can't get up the stairs, you can actually get support downstairs. Yeah. And we do a number of like workshops down there as well. But the dream would be to get something in the back garden. So a big summer house or something. So if someone was in a wheelchair, they can get pushed up the side of the building into the back garden. And then they could get some Reiki, one-to-one support, whatever we might need.
What are your highlights from Live Well Cancer?
I've got loads. I've got loads of like amazing people that I've met. But if I was really honest, I think our launch night, where people thought I was mad when I was saying we're going to launch at Whitley Bay Playhouse, going, are you cracking jokes? Like, well, why not? We can fill it. And we pretty much did. So that was a massive highlight. And I saw my niece at the time was on stage with her daughter and my sister. So they were going through a horrendous time with breast cancer. And it was just, I was so proud of seeing them up on the stage. And then more recently was the fashion show, because we've been saying we're going to do a big thing, get all the community together. And getting them there for that fashion show was just brilliant. Seeing everybody on stage and just everyone smiling. And it didn't feel like a fundraiser. Like people said at the time, it felt like a family wedding.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we've got in that community. It does feel more family-ish. It's like a big extended family.
It was the hottest day of the year as well.
Oh, it was
probably the one downside of the whole thing.
Well, and I was trying to run a fashion show and do everything else, I suppose, at that time. And nobody knew that all of the aircon had broken. So I was trying to battle that, get someone to come in for that. But apparently I did it seamlessly.
Yeah.
And I didn't look stressed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was boiling. And those photographs, all that, I've just got wet hair.
Yeah. Well, so I was obviously I was dressed in my cowboy suit, my black and white suit, and I was on stage for about 10 minutes. And then by the time I got off stage, I was fully soaked all the way through on my clothes underneath. It was horrendous.
It was
so
boiling.
hot. But it was a wonderful night.
Yeah.
Any other kind of highlights from the time there? Obviously big events, so they're kind of eye-catching, and I think they're quite big ones. But is there any other ones that are kind of coming to mind?
Our coffee mornings, it's always regular. And just little moments in time.
Yeah.
What people, like getting feedback off people, like you don't know how much this means to it, like those kinds of things.
And actually, I remember we were filming. It got me. Me and JV came in to film in a Crafting for Wellbeing session, and we just pulled 4 people in on random who were happy to speak in front of the camera.
Wasn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Non-scripted. It probably took about half an hour total for these 4 different interviews, and all 4 of them, it's a lifesaver. It's changed my world. It's what I get out of bed for. Mm-hmm. And then it was Anne, and. She was like, Maureen is just absolutely incredible. I was like, oh, well, it's my mum. And then she had to hug us because it was such a powerful thing. And I've always known that you do important work, obviously being a cancer nurse and stuff like that. But it's one thing knowing it, and it's another thing being told it to the point where people have got tears in their eyes because of the difference that you've made to their life. So that was good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. That wasn't going to be my moment, but
Right.
So we talked a lot about community, and obviously that's one of the 3 core values: we care, we empower, we are a community. What does the liver oil cancer community mean to you?
Everything. It really does. So it's not just about me giving to them in that community. They give so much to me, honestly. I keep forgetting the Japanese word.
Ikigai.
I have found it. This is my purpose in life, and it's because of these people. You're mixing with people who've got the worst things going on in life, and they have you in fits of laughter.
Do you know one thing that's really came on me recently? Obviously, you've had your injury. I've had mine. I crushed my toe.
Within 2 weeks of each other.
But you've got people who are, so we've got secondary cancer who are in terrible situations, and they're all like genuinely interested in how I'm doing. And it's like, oh, I've got a bad toe. I'm okay.
No, but they care.
But they genuinely care, and the lovely people in that kind of, it really does shine through, and that, it is nice. Mm. It is nice.
And it's even like the crafting on Wednesday. I mean, they keep calling it a sweatshop as well, by the way.
Well, yeah. You've been like that since the start. That was the first crafting crack, wasn't it?
But I give them a little idea. I was saying something about, do you know what? It would be really nice at the Christmas fair to have some black and white stuff on the stall. And they're just creating. So Karen had come in. I think she's made 10 of these black and white snowballs. We've got like Gillian making black and white stockings. Carol's making loads of stuff. Dawn's making loads. It's just all these lovely people who just want to support the charity. Yeah. And they're not even little things, they're big things. I mean, Anne brought about 100 things in the other day. It's given her a purpose throughout the week, and because she's waiting to get results and things. So she's saying the reason she's doing it is twofold. It keeps her busy, but also raises money for the charity as well.
Yeah.
Keeps her mind off things.
Well, that's what I love about the Michael Bauble campaign. It's like we win, all ends up. Mm-hmm. You're having people crafting and having that mindfulness, having that connecting, we're making stuff. Then you've got the patients on treatment at Christmas who get the baubles. Mm-hmm. You've just got all of these things kind of working together with no downside. So it's always, and I think we've always been good at that as a charity.
I think so. That Michael Bauble campaign started with Rachel, one of our trustees, who sadly left, which did 5 amazing years there. But it was she had been going through cancer treatment over Christmas, and she thought no one gave a shit. And that was her genuine. Well, they're just all getting on with their life. I'm sat there getting chemo and no one cares. And they would have cared. They did care. I know I've been there, but you can't help but get a little bit excited at Christmas time. So yeah, it was her idea. Why can't we give someone a little token just to know that there are people out there that are thinking about people when they're on treatment over Christmas?
Yeah.
And that's how it all started. So I think we made 200 baubles the first year, and last year it was 1,500.
He was on tour last year, Michael Bauble, wasn't he?
He was on tour. He went to Westwood.
Yeah, he was
didn't he?
all over North Tyneside.
Yeah. I think he's in residency this year, now that we've got our own hub.
Exactly, yeah. He's got his own place.
He's got his own place.
But he's getting his own little album, isn't he, for his fundraiser?
Yeah. But and that's something that's grown as well, so we're going to make that more of a fundraiser.
Yeah.
But we'll tell them all about that at a later date.
Yeah. And I guess the thing about the charity in general has been anyway is that the community's always been at the heart of it, hasn't it? And it's run by people affected by cancer, for people affected by cancer, and that's always shone through, I think.
So all of our trustees have all either had cancer or been impacted in some way, because it's never just about the person with cancer; it's that ripple effect. You know, so it's like your immediate family, and then it's your extended family and your friends. It will really, really affect you. So those trustees are incredible. They bring a lot to the table, and our facilitators. So all of them that either working in cancer care or they've been impacted by cancer as well, and they bring a hell of a lot to the table. So if you use Michelle as an example, so she is a cancer nurse. She lost her husband to cancer, and she's a yoga instructor. So it's just amazing when people are there that they've got this draw towards her. I don't know. We pick special people.
Yeah.
We really do pick special people.
Well, yeah, because if you think about the resource we have, really, for the output we put on, it's pretty remarkable, really.
It is. I mean, we over-deliver. Absolutely over-deliver. But, I won't have it anymore.
You're well, exactly. Yeah, that's a lifelong habit, so it's not going to change now.
Yeah.
And the people are so important, obviously, the people along the way. So we've talked about the kind of time of the charity. What are your hopes for the future?
It's a very simple one, and I think it's very achievable, but I want everybody that's living in North Tyneside to know about our charity, because the saddest thing that I see is when people might come for support and they've already been all the way through the treatment. They might have been a year struggling with their mental health, a fear of it coming back, and then we'll come to support them. And then, well, why didn't I know about this before? You know, because you're including them with other people, you're giving them peer support, you're giving them one-to-one counselling. That's what I want. Yeah. And if everyone does their job properly, and, you know, everyone kind of tells all the nurses that are out there, all the GPs, because we get great referrals from Northumbria Healthcare Trust. We work really, really closely with them. I just think it could be better in other areas. Yeah.
Well, and part of it's on us as well in terms of communicate, because we do a lot more than people would necessarily know.
Yeah.
Which isn't, you know, we're so busy doing the right things that it's hard to then tell.
Right, and we've got so much content we don't even get it out.
Well, and that's what this is about, though, isn't it? It's a great opportunity, and shout out to Hayward and Stuff Productions for this fantastic opportunity.
Because it's brilliant.
To have this, you know, to do this self-led wouldn't be a possibility, but to have someone here who's willing to do it for free and to, you know, invaluable, really, really invaluable. It's powerful stuff.
Well, thank you so much.
It's been a great opportunity. It's quite emotional, isn't it, when you start talking about stuff, because you're looking back. So, what you're sticking with North Tyneside? There's no national dreams?
No.
No?
And that's a firm no.
And why is that?
Not even a regional one. I would help other people, and we've been asked for that. We've been asked to go out and...
Because the model works.
The model works, it really does work, but you need to get somebody else, another mini-me, whatever it is, in another area who knows their community really, really well. Because what works in North Tyneside might not work in Northumbria. It might not. It might not work in... I get what you're saying, but I think it needs to be people from that area, from their community, who know what it's all about.
But something like a franchise could work. If you know, in the same way that you have Maggie's in different areas around the place, and they'll have their own individual things in the area. You've got a variety of different charities that do that. Are you worried about diluting in terms of?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I think I can't remember the expression. Where you don't want to be a mile wide, No, I can't remember it.
You don't want to be 3 foot thick.
I can't remember. No, you don't. You don't. But you know what? You just do not. I've seen it happen before where people are trying to build empires and that. I'm not about that.
Yeah.
I'm born and bred in North Tyneside. I've lived at the coast. We're back in Forest Hall now. I know the community. And that's
Do you know what I want though?
what I want to support.
Do you know what I want? And I don't think it contradicts what you're saying there.
Right.
I think what we need is like a Northumberland property for a wellness retreat. So you've got that ability.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's plugged in and it's adjacent
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
but it wouldn't necessarily work the same way. But you'd have a place there where, I don't know.
I think we've just said before how we're like that.
Yeah.
I think let's do what we're doing even better
Yeah.
where we are
Yeah.
without even thinking about anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is long term. This is
Yeah.
this is future talk.
Yeah.
But like
I'd be dead by then.
I see the value in that. You know, like people like Richard, who when he went on that real recovery and it was the fishing day.
Oh, like
Things like that, having these trips and having what a great teaching moment where you're going to come and spend a weekend at the Live Well retreat.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There's a working title. And then you've got the opportunity for the education. So you put yoga on, you do crafting, and you have this opportunity of, okay, whatever you're leaving behind can stay behind for now. We're going to focus on your well-being for a couple of days, and then you go off. I think that's the future. But part of us just wants to go and have a property in Northumberland and build again.
I think it probably is, but like I say, let's just
Yeah.
breathe for a little bit because it's been a bit manic the last.
Has I? You wouldn't have it any other way.
I
though.
wouldn't have it any other way, but it has been it's been mad.
So the plan. This is the first session. We've got 6 planned. Again, Hayward and Stuff Productions very gratefully received on our end. Very much appreciated. We've got a great opportunity to showcase the charity. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk to different people. We've got Maureen here today, my mum. We're going to be talking to the chair and his daughter, 2 trustees in the charity. We're going to be talking to another trustee who's got lived experience. We're going to be talking to Beth from Northumbria Healthcare Trust, who works in the centre. And then I'm going to be doing one where we're going to switch seats. We're very much going to switch seats and we're going to switch hats. And then we've got another spot where we're going to ask for people from the community to step forward and volunteer. So the first has gone well.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
quite sure.
I think we're all right. I think we've hit that at a nice length of time. We're having a live with it.
Yeah, thank
So,
you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Hayward.
Thank you.
Brilliant.